All right, welcome to Lecture Zero, y'all. Rachel and I are super excited to share this with you. And yeah, let's go and get started. So just for some general announcements, first of all, of course, welcome to the course. We are super excited to have you guys in CS 124 Honors. One thing that we will say is please fill out the confirmation enrollment form. We sent this on the 124 forum in the lecture, but it's just really important that y'all fill this out because if you join the Discord, if you do the PrairieLearn homeworks, but you don't fill out the enrollment confirmation form, we don't really have a way of knowing that you're in the course since we're also students. So it'd be great if you guys could fill that out just to make sure that we have the most up-to-date information. We can make sure that you're put into a project group and just to make sure there's no confusion along the way. Also, be sure to check out the Discord announcements. From now on, Discord will be the main mode of communication. We will send out emails from time to time about things that are really important, but that will just be at the start of the semester. And in every email, we'll say, please make sure you're in the Discord server and you have announcements, notifications on, because yes, Rachel and I will be sending announcements, definitely not daily, but we'll be sending probably weekly announcements with important information that you guys would need to keep up to date with. So yeah, long story short, be sure to join the Discord server and have your announcements turned on. If you guys were unable to join the Discord server, I know there was an issue with our link for a few people. Please put in chat your net ID and we will email you a link to the Discord server. But I believe for most of y'all, it shouldn't have been too hard. Yeah.
Okay, so these are some of the things that we'll be going over today. So the first thing is just introductions, like who we are. And also we're going to discuss the course content as well as the goals for this course. And then we'll go over how lectures will be delivered as well as points breakdown and how you can get a passing or failing grade. And then at the end, we'll have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, keep them in mind so you can ask them at the end.
All right, so who exactly are we that are talking to you right now? So my name is Dhruv. I'm a sophomore studying computer science. I joined the University of Illinois fall of 2021 as a CS major, and I took CS 124 my first semester as a freshman, and I took 124 in tandem with that. The following semester, I joined as a project manager, and then last semester, I served as head project manager for the course, and I'm super excited to be working with Rachel to work in 2023 as co-instructor.
Okay, so yeah, I am the other co-instructor. My name is Rachel. I am a sophomore studying computer science and linguistics, and I took this class my freshman year as well, and it was honestly a really great experience. I really enjoyed everything about it, and so I decided to PM again actually last semester. So I've been on staff for one semester, and I'm very excited to be course staff or course lead for the next two semesters. Yeah. So with that, here's a little like breakdown of what we're going to be doing in this class. So you can expect to have maybe 10% of the time, not exactly, but like a small portion of the time will be spent on lectures and homeworks. And then the majority of the time you'll be working on a project. So that's the semester long project that you guys are.
Yeah, so to break down the project a little bit that Rachel was talking about, how our projects run. These are team-based projects, and we have 3 to 5 students per group. And in the spring semester, each group we expect will be guided by 2 project managers. These are usually past students who took the course in their freshman and sophomore year, and they should be knowledgeable about the topic that you want to work on. The PMs are there to support you and to provide mentorship, but it is really important to know that the project is really about anything you're interested in. We'll have you fill out a project idea homework and a project matching form where you'll tell us a little bit about what areas interest you, what you'd want to work on. But once you're paired up with the students in your group, it's really up to y'all to decide exactly what you want to implement, how you want to implement it, and how it's going to work. The 2 project managers are just there purely to help you, give you support, answer any questions you have, even if it's not about CS 124 honors. If you have questions about CS at Illinois in general, college, they're of course there to help guide you through that as well. And as we said, it is really important that they are usually past students because we want to make sure the PMs can relate to you. They know what the semester workflow looks like, and they're genuinely there to help you throughout the course of the semester.
Okay, so why is project experience important? There are a lot of very good reasons as to why you should do a project. So the first thing I guess a lot of you guys are probably thinking about like internships or jobs or things like that. And so having a project that you can put on your resume is actually very nice because it also adds like a talking point with recruiters. So when you're going to like a career fair or something like that, you can talk to them about what you've done. Also like during like interviews, you can also tell them a little bit about like what you have experience working with. And you also get experience like working on something that is like real. It's a real application of like the things that you're learning in your classes. And then you also get to work on a team. So you're learning like these collaboration skills, which are also very important for like working in the real world. And you also will have a combination of remote or in-person like working sessions, I guess. So a lot of the times you will, I think it depends on the PM, depends on the group, but you guys may be working in person or you may be working like on Discord or on Zoom. And so that's also like something that you get to experience. And another thing is our teams are run using an agile methodology. And so this is the industry standard for team management. And it's just nice to have like that kind of experience working with that kind of team. And so lastly, you can learn like proper version control. This is very important. So you learn things about like Git and how to use GitHub, how to, commit your changes, push your changes, things like that. And that is very important as well.
So as I was mentioning before, what exactly will your project be on? And in short, it's whatever you want. Many of you guys have great ideas, but may not know where to start. And that's exactly what the project managers and this course is meant to provide you. As people who are relatively new to the field of CS, just getting started with Intro to CS1, our PMs and hopefully Rachel and I will provide you with structure and guidance so that you guys can develop exactly what you want to.
Okay, so this is the overall project timeline. We'll go into a bit more of like the dates and everything later. But so you'll start off with brainstorming and sharing ideas for a project. And we will be sending out a form for you guys to fill out with your interests and things like that. And then after we have all of that collected, we will pair you up with other students and mentors who have similar interests. So you guys can like work on a project that you're all passionate about. And then your team will come up with an idea and then you'll have an MVP, which is like actually implementing your idea. And then we'll have two presentations. So one is the midterm presentation. I think that is in sometime mid-March, and then you have a final presentation around finals week, and that is when you'll get a chance to see what other students are working on as well as share what you've been working on.
So now delving into the first 10% of our course, which are the lectures. These are going to be delivered on our YouTube channel. And just to go over them a little bit, these are solely during the first weeks of the course. If y'all saw in our Discord announcement, we said that we've slated project kickoff to be February 13th. So from now until then, we'll be releasing lectures on our YouTube channel. The major topics include Bash, Git, and projects. So if most of y'all saw, hopefully we've released the first registration homework on PrairieLearn, which was released yesterday. But the next homeworks will actually have lectures associated with them, which are already uploaded on our YouTube channel. But we'll be sending those out, of course, in Discord and attaching them on PrairieLearn. We also do something which not a lot of other courses do, which is try to develop lectures for other topics that are a little bit more niche or may not have videos about them, just so that you guys can learn from a student as well. So we have a host of experienced project managers, and they all have their own areas of expertise. So we ask them throughout the semester to just make short videos about things that interest them. So sometimes we may release the information and we may let them y'all know about what the topics are, but it's just a really cool way to learn a little bit more about things that aren't necessarily Bash, Git, or project related to 124 honors, and a way to learn a little bit more about web dev, databases, ML, AI, anything that you are really interested in.
Okay. So one of the topics that we'll be, discussing in the first couple of weeks is Bash. And so what I'm not sure if you guys is born like a shell. It's just used, it's like a text only interface that you can use to control like your Unix based operating system. And it allows you to control your computer like a developer. So, in those movies, when you see those people that look like they're hacking, it kind of looks like that. Maybe not as cool, but it allows you to run, a lot of different commands that are very, very useful.
And now going into the second part of our lectures and homework assignments, and something that you'll definitely be using, not just throughout the project, but probably throughout the rest of your career in computer science, Git. This is a version control system that tracks changes to project files and allows for easy and secure collaboration with other developers. It also has a way for file recovery and a lot more. So we use Git in 124 honors because you will definitely experience that in other CS classes that you take that are higher levels. And it's a great way to kind of get familiar with it in a less stress-inducing environment in a 0 credit hour honors class where you have project managers who are there to help you with every step of the way.
Okay, and so we'll also be going over like how you can get started on your projects. So we'll have an overview of like general categories that projects will often fall into. Not every project will fit into it, but these are like some very common categories. And then we'll also, help you guys come up with a project idea as well as how you come up with like how you would create an MVP. And then we'll also help you choose a tech stack for your project.
So now getting to PrairieLearn. We've already released for our registration homework, which I know some of you all filled out, but please make sure that you've actually registered for the course. The PrairieLearn homeworks are a part of your grade, which we'll be going over a little bit later in today's presentation. But it's very simple. If you go to PrairieLearn, log in with your Illinois email, hit add course, it should be very easy to find CS 124 honors. And we've attached the full name of the course in our lecture slides intro video. So feel free to check that out. And the registration homework is currently slated to be due on the 30th, since that's the last day to add a course. But considering that people are adding and dropping the course, we are very lenient with our deadlines when it comes to the first few homeworks. Homework 2 and 3 are practice with content in our Git and Bash lectures. So the way it'll be working is watch the lecture videos and then complete the PrairieLearn homework assignment. These are combinations of multiple choice questions, free response, large text boxes where you can input different Bash commands. And these are going to be released on Jan 30th and February 2nd. We recommend that you complete each homework within about 1 week of receiving it, but we do have a final deadline of February 12th for all homeworks, which is the day before project kickoff. We also have the project idea homework. This is a Google form that will basically give y'all a chance to brainstorm and develop project ideas to share once groups are formed. As we said, we will do our best to pair you with students who are interested in relatively similar topics, but the project idea homework will give y'all something to talk about during your first meeting when you're just sharing ideas, trying to come up with a final project idea. Having a few already loaded into the chamber is a great way just to start breaking the ice and to start getting the creative juices flowing. Lastly, we will also have a Git quiz, which will be released right before project kickoff. And this is just a way to review your Git knowledge. We pretty often encounter that students, when they're getting their project set up, are a little bit uncomfortable, unfamiliar with Git. So this quiz is just really quick, short, not worth a lot of your grade, just a way to help you review your Git before we start cloning, pushing, pulling from repositories.
Okay, so getting into the homeworks, like Drew said, we do recommend that you finish the homework within 1 week of receiving it, just so that you don't get overwhelmed when the deadline comes. And so just keep in mind that all homeworks are due on the 12th, but they will be released staggered. And so we have some office hours in case you guys do have questions, and these office hours will be on January 30th through February 9th on Discord. And so if you look on the Discord channel, there is an office hours like text or voice channel that you guys can join. The PMs will be in there, so you can like just hop in whenever they have office hours. And so office hour times are going to be Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 6 to 8 p.m. And we also have a homework Git questions channel on Discord that is dedicated just for homework questions. So if you have anything that you're like confused about, make sure that you send it in there. Maybe someone can help you. Or if you have any questions about Git, that's also where you would put your questions.
So yeah, going back into a little bit of the topic-specific lectures I was mentioning before, these are optional. We are not going to release any PrairieLearn homeworks about them. And of course, you're not required to watch them, but they are recorded by our staff members to watch if you're interested. As I mentioned before, we have ML, database, web dev topics, and hopefully we'll be releasing a few more throughout the semester. So you can use these not just to get ahead a little bit in knowledge, but also if you want to come up with ideas for projects, watching one of these videos can act as kind of a springboard for you to start developing your tech stack, get your environment set up, and just give you some cool ideas to get started.
Okay, so here is a brief overview of the timeline. So yesterday we released the registration homework, and so you guys should be able to fill that out and see that on PrairieLearn now. Bash homework will be released on the 30th, which is next Monday. Git homework is released on the 2nd, which is next Thursday. And then project ideas homework will be released on the 5th. And I believe that is a Sunday. And yeah, so we also have like lectures for the and we have a quiz due on the 10th that is very, very short. It's just a review of Git. And then all homework again due on the 12th. So don't forget to do those. And once all the homework is due, we have our project kickoff, which is on February 13th. That will be in person. So make sure you block off time in your calendar so you can attend. That is a Monday, and it will be sometime in the evening. We'll release more details later on. And then once project kickoff starts, you guys can start working on your project, which I know is what you guys signed up for. And yeah, so these are the dates for the midterm and the final, if you want to take a look at those as well.
Yeah, I'll just give you all a second if you want to take a photo, but we will be sending these slides over Discord. So if you miss something, if you want to review, of course, feel free to reference these again. The dates are not 100% confirmed for our midterm final presentations, but you can pretty much bet on it being during those days. We do our best to have final presentations before finals week actually starts because we want you to be a little bit more relaxed about the presentations for 124 honors, not have that in the midst of other exams. And our midterm presentations are the weekend right after spring break. So if you're running a little bit behind, of course, we don't want you guys to be stressed about 124 honors over spring break, but you can use that time to catch up a little bit, and then you'll have 1 week to develop your presentation and then presenting the weekend after that. So yeah, delving into the syllabus now, there are no prerequisites for the course. And before we go a little bit further, I will say we will link our syllabus in the resources channel just so you guys can take a pass over that. It's a pretty long document, as most syllabi are, but there's a lot of important information there, and we'll break down pretty much the most key important things right now. But one of the things that we really do like to stress is that there are no prerequisites to taking this course. We are really excited that y'all are here. And once again, we really want to emphasize that you don't have to have any prior programming experience. You don't have to know algorithms. You don't need to be familiar with a certain programming language. We really typically do have a lot of beginners and people with more experience. So there are no prerequisites. Even if you're a complete beginner to computer science, I know it can feel a little bit overwhelming joining an honor section, but we want you to know that we have done our best to make sure that you will feel welcome and that there's a lot of support in place for you to get help if you have any questions at all.
Okay, so how will you receive credit for this class? So one thing that we want to stress is don't worry about credit. It's a 0 credit hour course, so you really should not be stressing too much about this class. And so the main thing is just to make sure that you sign up for the class, because if you don't sign up, you won't get anything, especially for Junior Scholar students. If you're using this to fulfill your HCLA requirements, it's very important that you do the whole process for that. So make sure you fill out the HCLA agreements for this class. And then if you're not a James Scholar, then sign up for the class on self-service. It should be CS 199, section 124. And also, everyone should have filled out the enrollment confirmation form. If you have not, again, please fill that out right now. We have the QR code here if you want to scan that. We also have this form linked on the Discord. We will be sending out the slides. So we're posting this everywhere. Make sure you fill it out. Very, very, very important. Okay, and then so once you have done that, then you will receive either a satisfactory or unsatisfactory grade, I guess, if you fail the class, which I hope you guys won't. And then you'll also receive honors credit for the course.
And just to emphasize, go over the differences a little bit. For James Scholars, y'all are obviously required to do an honors every single semester. So that's why you would fill out the HCLA agreement. But for non-James Scholar student, this class will show up on your transcript. As Rachel mentioned before, it is a 0 credit hour class. So if you receive an unsatisfactory, it won't have any effect on your GPA, but I do believe it will show up there. We do make this class very, very easy to pass, get a satisfactory in, because we want to make sure that if you do put in the effort to take the course and you develop something, we want to make sure that any potential employers, programs that take a look at your transcript know that you did complete an honor section and you put your best foot forward. So yeah, breaking down the grading a little bit, this is taken straight from our syllabus. So once again, feel free to revisit that if you have any questions. But this is basically how it will go. As you can see, the PrairieLearn homeworks are really not worth that much. The registration homework, I think you physically can't get 100 unless you don't finish it. It's 2 questions with 1 answer choice on both. The Git Bash project homeworks, you will get unlimited attempts on those. So you should be able to get these, very easy 10% of your course. Final and midterm presentations are worth 30% total. So each one is 15 and 15. And it's pretty much just, did you go to your presentation? Did you present? And were you respectful to other groups while they presented? And of course, last but not least, the main chunk of your grade in this class is the weekly evaluation. So we'll go into this a lot more during project kickoff when you guys are actually sorted into your groups and your project managers. But basically, every week when you're working on the project, you'll have one check-in with your project manager. And we also have a weekly rubric that we'll get into in the next slide that explains exactly how you'll be graded every single week. But just very important, as Rachel and I have been saying, it's very, very easy to pass this class. You just have to maintain your communication and put in some effort on a weekly basis.
Okay, so this is the grading that you will get every week. 30% of it is just attendance. So were you present? Did you attend the meetings? Were you excused? Like sometimes you may have some, situations come up. So as long as you let us know and you get your absence excused, then you don't have to worry about that. And then 50% of it is individual task completion. So did you do what you were supposed to do that week? Were you, contributing to the group in a helpful way? And 20% of it is just individual communication. Communication is very, very important in this class because you are working with other people. You're not just working alone. And so if you're just doing your own thing and not letting your team know anything about what you're doing, then it can cause some issues. So make sure you are communicating. And so just a little bit about the excused absences. So 2 unexcused absences will be are counted as the same as excused absences. And so another thing that I do want to mention is although grading is very lenient in this class and you don't really have to worry about a grade, which is very nice, we do want to stress that you're not going to get as much out of this class if you do not put in effort, because this class is all about, getting to learn things that you don't normally get to learn in a class and getting to, complete a project that you may not otherwise, do on your own time. And so we provide a lot of resources, but it is up to you guys whether or not you want to utilize them. And also, what you get out of this class is very much a reflection of how much effort you did put into it. And another thing is, if you are not putting in effort to contribute to your group, then you're also letting down your group. So that is, not so great, but up to you guys how you, take this course. But we really hope that you will put in work and put in effort to learn and just, get as much out of this course as you can. And as always, we're always here to support you. Your PMs are also there to support you. So you have a lot of support in this class and you can always reach out to any of us and we'll be very responsive and try to get you the help that you need.
So yeah, breaking down our expected time commitment for the course. At the start, we expect that lesson videos and homeworks assigned by your project managers will take about 1 to 2 hours per week. Then every week, as we mentioned before, you will be meeting with your project manager and the rest of your group. These meetings typically range from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on if you guys are actually doing project setup, debugging, or if you're just doing a quick check-in and splitting up tasks for the next week. And lastly, we have out of meeting project work, which is about 1 to 2 hours. So overall, we expect that the total workload will be about 2.5 to 4 hours every week. And just keep in mind, this is after projects have started. Before projects start on the 13th, the time commitment is very low considering we're just releasing a few homeworks here and there, a few lectures to watch that are pretty short, 20 minutes tops. So keep in mind, this is for once projects start. A lot of this, as Rachel was said before, is based on how you work and how your project manager works. Y'all may have shorter meetings where you just really check in and then you do most of your work outside. And some project managers may treat the project meetings as the time for you to get most of the work done for the week. So that may take up an extra hour from your out of meeting project work time. But overall, we do expect about 2.5 to 4 hours a week. And it really is up to you, your group, and your project manager how you want to split that up.
Okay, so a little bit about information flow. So let's say you have a technical, a homework, or a course question. Where would you go to ask those? Discord, that is our primary form of communication. So project group and lecture communications will also be done through Discord. If you want to watch recorded lectures, we will be posting the links in Discord, but they are all on YouTube, so you can also look at those on YouTube. And for homework, that is going to be on PrairieLearn, so make sure you are registered for this class on PrairieLearn. But yeah, make sure you're checking Discord frequently. I recommend having at least some level of notifications on just so that you're not, left in the dark or forget to check. And we do have a Discord tutorial to get you familiarized with how, where everything is in our server, and you guys can check that out when we send out the slides.
All right, and that pretty much concludes our presentation. I know it was a lot of information that we threw at y'all, but yeah, for the rest of this time, I know we did book 6 to 7. So if you don't have any questions, of course, please feel free to log off. But for the next 20 minutes, Rachel and I will be here to answer any and all questions you have. If you guys want to put it in chat, feel free. If you just want to unmute and ask us, anything works. But if not, then we will see you synchronously again at Project Kickoff. And you will probably see our faces at one point or another over Discord or at maybe another lecture. So for James Scholars, we don't give letter grades. For James Scholars, you receive an H credit or you don't. So in a similar vein to a non-James Scholar student who receives satisfactory or unsatisfactory, it would basically just be you receive an honors credit or you don't. Another question, which is, I'll just address it to everyone. Is there anything important that won't be posted in the Discord server? The short answer to that is no. We will be sure to post any and all resources in the Discord server. We will remind you all of PrairieLearn homeworks there, of deadlines coming up. All of our resources are there. So if you have nothing else turned on and it's just your Discord notifications for our server on, you will receive all of the information about our course.
Excuse me. So that timeline you guys had in the slides, is that all the assignments? Can I plug those into my calendar and that's all the assignments I'll have to do up until we start with our own teams, with our own deadlines and such?
Yep, 100%. We have firmed up those deadlines for release, and we don't really expect any movement on those. And as we said, all homework will be due on Feb 12th. Yeah, good question.
Okay, and so in the chat it says, do we have any weekly meetings before the kickoff? The answer to that is no, we don't have anything before that. We will have everything. I think we do. Do we have another lecture?
We'll be releasing those on YouTube, but not another synchronous lecture, no.
Not synchronous, but we have other content that you guys will need to keep up with. But aside from that, I don't think there's anything that you should be too worried about. Is the class primarily done in Java or Kotlin, or is there some freedom in the languages you use? That is very much up to you guys. You don't have to use Java or Kotlin. Java and Kotlin is just for CS 124. For this class, it's very open-ended. You can choose a project and choose a tech stack. And so what we mean by choosing a tech stack is you can choose what language you want to use, frameworks, libraries, things like that. And it is not limited to just Java and Kotlin. You
Yeah. So just echoing what Rachel said, that's the great thing about 124 honors, complete and total freedom about what you want to do, what you want to program in, completely up to you and your group. So addressing other questions in the chat, midterm and finals are in person or online. We love to have everyone in person. We do reserve a room for the presentations with a big projector where you guys share your slides, but we do also have an online option because we understand some people are leaving early, some people are traveling, some people may be sick. So we do have an online option where you can join on Zoom and basically speak synchronously over your presentation. In some extreme cases, we have students record videos beforehand and paste those into their slides, but we do highly recommend that you come in person and attend for the entire time. Yeah, another question in the chat. Will groups be assigned or do we need to find group members? That's a great question. The groups will be assigned. We used to have a thing where you could ask for specific group members, but it got a little bit messy because we do have a pretty advanced matching algorithm developed by a few people who've graduated now. So what we do is with the project matching form, you indicate what area meta group you'd like to work on. So web dev, game dev, mobile dev, etc. And from that, we match you with students who are interested in pretty much the same topics. Let's see, how many lines of code will the project have? That is really, really up to you and your group. It very much differs. It really depends on what exactly you are creating. So there's absolutely no, quota on the number of lines of code you need to hit. Rachel and I will very, very rarely actually review your code specifically. It's up to you and your project manager. And we do our best to make sure that project managers can recognize what kind of projects are feasible and what isn't. If you need to write a program that will require 850,000 lines of code in one semester, that may be a little bit more on the unfeasible side. But yeah, there's absolutely no limit, no minimum for the amount of code you actually have to write.
Okay, will PMs also work with us on the projects or do they just guide us? So the PMs are primarily there just to guide you. And I think they may help you like split up tasks. They may and the PMs are a resource to help you figure out how you're supposed to actually create what you want to create.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions at all? Feel free to message in chat, speak out loud. All right, I'm going to end the video recording here. For those of y'all who are watching this, thank you guys for joining us.